Hi, this is Abdulaziz Khan. I hope all of you are fine. So this is, you can say, that a series of videos that I will be producing and uploading on YouTube. The main idea is that anyone who is interested to learn Python, uh, he can learn from the start. And I will start from, you can say, very beginning. I will tell you that what software you will start loading in on your system, and we will be using one of the recommended software which was recommended to me by some of my friends, and I will not say that you go with the exact software I mean, but generally if you will be learning Python from very much other resources, even the paid one or unpaid one, you will find that almost everyone is using the same resource. Even though for development it's not very much recommended, but for learning it's one of the best resource to learn. So during this video I will try to give you some personal suggestions and feedback as well. So what I will be using is Anaconda, and because basically I will like to be using Jupyter, and Jupyter is part of Anaconda. So where we go for Anaconda, let me go to Google. So it's on anaconda.com. We go to the Anaconda site. Let's see how, as you can see that they are promoting their name as a data science technology for a better world. And on the main, you can see there's a download page. If you want to have downloader for some other system, for example for Mac or anything else, you can go to get additional installer. So here you can have two versions in Windows. Because I have a 64-bit Windows, so I have this one. But if you have a 32-bit window, so you can get this 32-bit one. If you have a Mac or if you have Linux, then you should get a similar installer. So you will click here and installation will start. It's a bit larger file, so I will not download it because I have already installed Python Anaconda in my system. But let me just take you through, I mean, so that to make it a bit more intuitive for you so that we can understand. So assume that we have downloaded it already. It's in our some of our folders. So like for example, I have copied it here. So this is the Anaconda. If you see the full name, it's Anaconda 3, which was made in 2021. It was released. It's for a x86 Windows with 64-bit. So if you will have it for Windows 32, then I think only this number, it will be 32 here. Rest, I think everything should be exactly the same. The size should be quite smaller. This is 522. That should be less than 500 MB. So assume that we don't have installed it here. You just double click it. The installing of almost all the software is almost the same. I mean, you installed Anaconda. It's a free thing. I mean, you don't have to worry about anything. So you just say next, I agree. Here it's better that you make it for all users, because if you have different users on your system, then everyone can use it. They don't need to install multiple. For example, you are sharing your system with your brother or anyone else, and if both of you want to learn, then better to install it for all users. Otherwise he will install on his user and you will install on your user, so it will be quite of a duplication in the hard drive. So but for me, I will not be installing it, I mean. So and you see, when you go for all users, it will need admin privilege. It will need it will ask you, like I will click it, so it will ask me to allow, I mean, because I'm the admin of the admin user as well. So generally in most of the programs, if you need some admin privilege to run a lot of things, So even when we will be doing the actual programming and when we will be trying to test our some of our programs, and we will be using this admin privileges many times. So it's you have to have some idea that what is the admin privilege, because admin has more control. He can use some of the some of the things that a normal user cannot use. I mean, for example, your system files, your system configuration, if you want to access them, you need some admin approval for that. So I assume that you are also a admin user. So now it will ask you that where it should install. The default is fine. If you have some other, if you want to install it in your D drive, then you can just change from C to D and keep the other name as it is. But because of any reason, if you want to change the whole path, then you can even change the path, or you can browse from here and you can install it anywhere else in your system. For example, you can go to E and you can install it anywhere else. It's up to you. So it's telling that here in D I have 23 GB free and this will need 3 GB. When I was in C, I had to have 40 GB free and it will need 3 GB. So here if I will start saying next, then it will, it will be like a normal Windows installation. It will ask some other small things that okay, what I will install, what kind of things. So better to go with everything in the default. I mean, there is no need to change in any parameter because I already have it installed on my system, so I will not go further. But if any one of you has any problem while installing, then you can always get back and you can comment on this video, or maybe you can contact me directly. So I will assume that we go through the whole process and we installed it. So I am assuming that Anaconda is installed here. When you will install, if you have allowed it to make uh, a quick launch or make it as an icon on your desktop, then it will be shown here as well. I generally don't put most of the things on my desktop, so here I go to open it. Here as well you can see that I can open it directly or I can run it as an administrator. Generally you don't need to run it as an administrator always, I mean, so you can just open it. So it's coming on. You see that it takes a while. I will not be pausing or stopping the video. I just want you to just see and feel, because when you will be doing it yourself, maybe you will be feeling that it's taking a lot of time, but that's why I had showed you. So this is the Anaconda main IDE or main window. Here you can see that Anaconda has a big it has a flavor of things for you. For example, you can go to a command prompt, you can do something from the command terminal. Then this is a data analysis tool. Currently we are not going with it. You can access the IBM Watson Cloud as well. Jupyter Lab is an extension of Jupyter. We will be using only this thing right now. So it has VS Code. I have VS Code as well. I mean, you can use Anaconda with VS Code as well. Spider. These are basically different kind of we call it IDE, Integrated Development Environment. It's a kind of software which lets you write the code, debug the code, upload the code in some repository, download the code from repository. I will soon make one video on GitHub as well, where I will just try to give you my experience of GitHub. So you can use even RStudio. PyCharm is also a very good IDE. Visual Studio Code is also very good. I will give one. I will make one video on this as well because I am using Visual Studio Code as well. So as we see that this Anaconda has a lot of things in it. I mean, it's not a single thing, but whatever is we are most interested is Jupyter. So why I am interested in Jupyter, I will just let you know in a while. Let's wait for Jupyter to start. So you can see the first thing is that Jupyter did not start as a program. It starts in a web browser. So basically the Jupyter server is running as a virtual machine on your system, and you are accessing it through your web page. Now which or maybe I think I will put one another video because if I try to give you more idea in the same video, then it will be a very longer video. So if you have reached up to this place, then this is fine. Let me just finish this video, and then I will make another video in which I will take you further from here, that what is Jupyter, what are these things. So we will go in further detail. So currently if you have installed Anaconda and you have started Anaconda and you have started Jupyter, then you are very good to go. So see you in the next video. Goodbye.